everybody, and welcome back to another episode of From BA to Broadway. You know who it is. It's me, Mr. Brennan Stefanik, your host, and I'm bringing you those general programming reminders. Folks, every Monday we are here with our main episodes, and every Friday we are here with our miniseries In the Spotlight, but today's not Friday, so we're not worried about that right now. Folks, today I am joined by dear friend, the one and only Mr. Tommy Kaiser. Tommy,
Hello.
what is going on?
Oh, nothing.
Welcome to the pod.
Happy to be here.
So happy to have you. Tommy, who the heck are you and what do you do?
Brennan, I'm your ex-coworker.
That's so
Let's start
true.
from the beginning.
So true.
We worked at a hellish restaurant for probably only a few months.
Yeah.
I think we had a slight crossover.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I really was there for such a short period of time. And I'm so fine with that.
I'm so okay with it.
Yeah.
And I applaud you.
Thank you.
You were there shorter than I was, and I'm jealous.
That's fair. Thank you. Yeah, not for me.
No.
Not a restaurant boy.
I don't think I could do it anymore.
Restaurants in general or just that place?
Oh, definitely that place. But restaurants in general, it's just people are hard to deal with.
They really are, especially around here.
Yeah,
you know. So many.
Mm-hmm.
You're an actor.
I am.
Yeah, theater person.
Theater person through and through.
Maker, shaker, earthquaker.
Yeah. Oh, songwriter.
Oh my God, do you mean it?
Yeah.
Stop. Tommy, did you go to school for theater?
I did not.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I know, really taboo conversation.
Yeah.
But I was going to school for biology. I had gotten in and committed to a school my senior year of high school. And then I was like, Mom, Dad, I want to sing and dance. And they were never really on they weren't on board with me doing theater professionally. They really were like, you're going to be a doctor. But I think they saw how it was affecting me, like watching me put theater away. And so they were like, okay, we're going to give you a year. And if you book anything within that year, you can pursue it. Otherwise, we're not going to help, financially, whatever.
Okay.
And so I took kind of a gap year. I still went to a community college.
Gotcha.
And it was actually the COVID year when I was doing this audition stuff. So I kind of got an extension, which was really nice. But luckily, by the grace of God, I booked the Rent Tour in 2021, and the rest is history.
Were you here or were...
I was here,
Okay.
yeah.
Are you from here?
I'm actually from Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. Amazing.
At the time, I was living in Jersey because my family and I moved to Jersey.
Gotcha.
At one point or another. And yeah, I moved to Manhattan when I was 19 or 20.
Okay.
Something like that.
Gotcha.
And yeah, when I was 20, I booked the tour and left in September of 2021.
Rock and roll.
And that took me to June of 2022.
Okay. Was that the U.S. tour, international?
U.S. and also went to Japan.
Oh,
which
okay.
was
Sick.
Really fun.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Actually just got back from there 3 weeks ago.
Were you doing a gig or were you just on vacation?
I was just on vacation.
Good for you.
Yeah, I went with some of my friends from the tour because we were just we worked there. Might as well go back and actually have time to explore and do what we wanted to do.
I've never been to Japan. That's always something that I want to do because it feels like something I would definitely enjoy, but it just feels so intimidating to me.
Okay.
Tell me.
Wasn't a big I really never did a lot of traveling. I went on one big trip when I was in high school, and that was the extent of my travels. Japan is the best place in the entire world to me. I know it's to each their own, but I will say that with my full chest. Japan is the best, and I have grown to really love travel, and I credit that to the tour. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful country. They're so kind and welcoming to tourists, and there's just so much culture to explore. And then on the other side of it, it's kind of just living in a different version of here. You
Gotcha.
know?
Yeah.
But it's just so beautiful.
Okay. I really got to put that on the list. I got to just do it.
I tell everybody to.
I just got to yank the Band-Aid and do it.
Yes.
I haven't really traveled to so many other non-English speaking countries, you know? So that's always another daunting thing, but
They honestly, a lot of them speak English. So I was able to get by. I survived. I learned a few Japanese words just so I can be cordial and polite.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I was using English, and they're really, really patient with it. So
I'm I have the thing where I'm yes, I don't want to sound like a tourist, but also I just don't want to be a bother, you know? I'm listen, you shouldn't have to speak English to me.
Well, exactly. I mean, I would feel bad, of course. And, here in America, we don't really prioritize learning other languages, let alone like diving into other cultures.
Yeah.
But in Japan, they're really serious about learning English.
Truly.
And a lot of them like are almost fluent, really.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. And they're also so nice about it. It's not like you feel like a bother.
Yeah.
So that was also really nice. Like there was a little warmth there.
Heard.
But yeah, I know it's probably intimidating to like go for the first time to a non-English speaking country. But if you're gonna go to any, Japan is a great one to go, like to start.
It seems like the move.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna put it on the list.
Amazing.
In the next 10 years, I will.
10. Let's narrow it down to 5.
Okay, fine. Tell me, when did the theater of it all start for you?
The theater of it all started probably elementary school, just like doing the little shows that they wrote and put on, and they were really weird, and I don't remember anything about them, but
of course,
that was when I was like, oh, I definitely could do this, like as a hobby at least. And I dropped out of baseball, I dropped out of karate, and I started singing and acting and trying to dance.
Yeah. What was it about? I feel like the days that we grew up as children were like so karate heavy. Like I felt like everyone did karate.
For me, it was my parents had a friend of theirs who was a karate instructor.
Oh, okay.
And so they were like, oh, easy. Like, we get a little bit of a discount. Let's throw him in karate and see if that sticks. But I was actually really good.
Okay.
Because it's like an art form, you know? So, like, that resonated with me. And I was top of my class for the belt that I was while I was quitting.
Heard.
And so my instructor was, like, calling my parents, being like, please don't let him quit. But I wanted to do the fall play in my high school theater company. And so that's what I did.
Yeah. I just didn't have the patience for lack of immediate gratification.
Sure.
Like I was ready for the next belt. I was like, I want this orange belt gone. I'm ready for brown or purple or whatever it is. I just need to change it up. I don't like the color orange.
Of course.
I don't like it around my waist. We need to switch it up here. And
of course.
Yeah, that was the end of it for me. I was at my wit's end.
Fair
Tommy.
enough.
Oh wow, good times.
It could be tedious.
Yeah. Okay, so you started doing theater elementary school. Just do it in school as we go.
Just in school, yeah. And when I moved to Jersey, I was like 11, and I auditioned for my first community theater production.
Okay.
So the first thing outside of school, and I did Willy Wonka.
Heard.
I was James, which is Charlie's friend that no one knows about. So explaining that to everybody I ever knew was really difficult.
Please do tell me.
Oh, he literally just sings like, what's that one song?
I'm going to just nod along. I've never seen the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then it wouldn't matter if I figured out what it is anyway.
Great.
But he sang like a tiny bit of one song and then is basically never seen again.
This is pre-Chocolate Factory.
This is pre-Chocolate Factory.
Of course.
And he just fills in the ensemble otherwise.
Iconic.
But little 11-year-old me dancing around. And then in middle school, I did like those school shows. And then high school, I did those school shows. And when I was like, okay, mom, dad, I'm going to sing and dance, that's when I started auditioning for community theater shows again.
Yeah.
Did a couple of those before COVID hit. And then I just had the year basically to do like social media and like build a platform there. And so that definitely helped with like putting my foot in the door for the professional theater world, because I had absolutely no idea how else I was going to get there. I have absolutely no like people in my family who were into it. I was completely alone there. So.
Gotcha. Were you like taking lessons or anything, or?
I wasn't.
Okay.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, my family did not want me doing, like, love you guys, but they did not want me doing theater. They wanted me doing sports. Like, it was that kind of thing. I would beg for like piano lessons or something, singing lessons, whatever the case may be, but never got there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It wasn't until I think the end of 2023 that I like started taking voice lessons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. So you really just jumped into the world of everything.
I was just raw dogging it.
How did you like learn how to audition and like learn about EPAs and all that stuff? Like,
literally just like making mistakes over and over again.
Understood.
It's like I would show up not knowing that an EPA is an EPA, and I thought I would just like be able to walk in. So in 2019, my first EPA that I tried to show up to was for Dear Evan Hansen, and I was 18 at the time. I had no clue. I just knew I had to get there early.
Yeah.
So I was there at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God.
Went in, waited until like probably 1 o'clock, and then they were like, we're not seeing non-union. And I was like, is that me? And in fact, it was me.
Heard.
So then I went back to the open call, which was like, they're only seeing non-union.
Yeah.
Got there earlier, was like 54th in line, and I got seen.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was like my first like round of Broadway callbacks, which is really cool. Yeah.
Great. Okay. Wow. You were really just doing the thing right away.
Just trying to
Good
do the
for
thing.
you,
Yeah.
though. Yeah. Was Rent another EPA situation, or was that just all online?
That was actually during the pandemic. BroadwayWorld did a competition called Next on Stage.
Okay.
And I won the competition. And so for the next season, while they were like announcing like the top 3 for that, part of my prize package was releasing a single with Broadway Records. So they played that during their announcements for the following season.
Yeah.
The director of Rent was watching it, saw my video on there, and reached out to me just via email asking if I'd like to audition as a swing. And yeah, they put together a lot of the cast from previous casts. So they were really just filming in the ensemble and swing roles. And so I was the swing for Mark and Roger.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Rock and roll, literally.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So then did you come right back to the city after that?
I did.
And then were you back in the grind, or did you?
I was so naive and a little cocky. I was like, great, like I just got back, I'm gonna book the next thing and be gone again. And that just didn't happen. But that's reality.
I mean, yeah.
I was auditioning for a while, and then I didn't have any representation either. So I was doing all of it myself.
Yep.
And I burned out really quickly.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, I'm going to take a little break from theater. And that's when I started working at the restaurant.
Oh, boy.
Our favorite place.
Yes.
And I just kind of didn't submit myself for anything. I wasn't looking for auditions. If they came my way, I would send in for it, but I wasn't like actively seeking out work.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like June of 2022 or something, or 2023, that I started looking again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heard. Sometimes it's necessary, though. You know, the burnout is real. After you hopped on the Rent tour, what happened with the parents? What was that situation like?
Oh, they were very happy for me.
Okay.
They just don't understand the theater world.
Okay.
So it's like, they were like, okay, so like what job are you also going to have? And I was like, that's not how that works. Like, I'm getting paid a salary. Like, it's going to be great. So, you know, they tried their best to understand.
Yeah.
But they just aren't theater people. And
Understood.
You can't make a non-theater person a theater person overnight.
That's
And
valid.
so they just kind of have to ask as many questions as possible, even to this day.
Heard.
Yeah.
Heard. It's like that, though, you know?
Yeah.
Did you have like an artistic upbringing outside of like school stuff? Like, was art present in the world? Because I would imagine that it is a little bit more just in daily life when you're living around here, but I don't know, like, prioritizing how that comes along.
It was kind of just like I was always singing as a kid.
Okay.
And I don't know, I just like always knew that I liked it, and that was something that brought me joy. My dad plays guitar, and so he'd be playing guitar like sometimes. It was just like very much just a hobby. So it'd be like every now and then he'd whip out the guitar. And my cousin is a singer. She's the only other person in my family that sings, but she's not a theater person.
Okay.
So she's just like vocalist.
Yeah.
So I had like hints of it.
Understood.
And so it was just kind of finding like where I fit in to it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, theater's a thing. Like that's what I'm into. And the first Broadway show I saw was If Then, when I was like probably 13. And that's when my mom was like, okay, he's really not giving up. So let me take him to a Broadway show. And I was obsessed. And then I was like, I have to see every Broadway show that's ever happened now.
You're like,
And it
I
was just
have to,
nonstop.
because if I've learned anything from If Then, it's that one decision can change the rest of my life forever.
Yes. And the only reason she even took me wasn't even for the lesson of it. It's because Idina Menzel was in it, and I liked Frozen. Like, that was the gig.
Iconic.
But yeah, it was, you know, it came later in life, like really like discovering what theater means to me. Because, like, you know, the school shows, it's just like, yeah, that's the thing that the singers do.
Yeah.
But then it like took a whole new meaning when I discovered Broadway, really. Yeah.
Was Broadway the dream? Like, was that when you were first like kind of tossing around the idea of this professionally?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, when I first saw If Then, I like immediately was like, I want to be the people up there.
Yeah.
Because at that point I was like, yeah, doctor, like that's what I'm gonna be. You know, It was like drilled into my brain from a young age, and that's not gonna happen.
No.
But yeah, seeing a Broadway show and then seeing many, many more after that, I was just, it just like kept on growing. And that's like why I became relentless about it to my parents.
Heard. Okay. So then once you're on the grind, you're kind of figuring things out. You take your hiatus, you come back. What is life looking like for you? Are you trying to hop on the grind? Are you going to EPA after EPA, or?
I've never been an EPA guy. What really put me back was somebody reached out for me for representation, and she's my current manager, Allie Taylor. So when she reached out to me, it was over Instagram DM. And I was like, now's as good a time as ever. It had been like 6 months at that point.
Yeah.
So I was like, why don't I hop back into it with help?
Understood.
And so I signed with her. And from there, she was getting me auditions and appointments. And it was just like a load off my back.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I could start doing this again. I've maybe been to like 2 EPAs in my life.
Whoa.
I don't know. It's a bloodbath. And I'm non-union. And so,
okay.
yeah. So I've just been holding off on it.
Yeah.
Just because it's expensive, it's a lot to take on. Just, all of a sudden, especially
totally
like
agree.
living in the city's already
Yeah.
really expensive. So I've just been trying to get by without it, and I've been fine. But yeah, I'm also signed now with Zuri Agency with David Gilbert, and he's been wonderful. I just signed with him like last month. And so now I have a little team.
Amazing.
And it's been great. It's been really busy. So it's just been audition after audition. I filmed one this morning. I spent all day yesterday filming them.
Okay.
So, and I feel like good about it. Like I don't feel a burnout coming.
Yeah,
There's like hope in my eyes,
I'm sorry, what? What was that word?
There's hope.
Hope? What?
Hope.
Never heard of her.
HOPE.
Just kidding, everyone. Please hold out hope. You're going to do it. It's going to be great.
You could do it.
You said that your manager found you on Instagram.
Yes.
How?
I think probably just from like my TikTok presence.
Gotcha.
And like I have videos on Reels as well.
Heard.
So yeah, she just found me there and she just DM'd me asking if I had representation.
Yeah.
And I think I let it sit in my DM for a while because I was still like, I don't know if I want to hop back in yet.
Yeah.
Eventually I ripped the Band-Aid off. And then she was like, well, if you'd like to hop on a call, I'd be very interested in representing you. Like, let's see if we're a fit. Yeah. And she's great. She's been great.
Heard.
Yeah.
Do you feel like when you are posting like your singing and stuff on the internet, like I would say, what is the balance of like authenticity in that kind of realm? Like, how do you kind of navigate that?
Okay. I love this question because I post, and I've always just posted on like TikTok and Instagram because I enjoy it, because I like singing, and I just put my phone up and I record when I'm singing, because if I wasn't recording, I'd still be singing. Yeah. So I don't like to feel like I'm auditioning when I'm posting videos. Heard. I'm just having fun, you know? And so I post like ridiculous videos of me doing like ridiculous runs that I would never do in an audition room. You know, I'm just having a good time. And I think that is what serves me, because I'm actually enjoying myself. And I'm sure you could tell, like, it translates through the screen. And yeah, it's like I sing songs that I like. I don't sing songs that I particularly am like looking to audition for. Heard. I sing a lot of songs that like male presenting people don't sing in theater. I'll sing anything, and I love it, you know? And I think that's the place to do it, because when it's a career, you're kind of boxed into these are the roles that you can and can't play. But if you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram, sing what you want. Yeah. Do you feel like you're kind of in the mold of like typecasting and stuff? Like, do you feel as though that's something that you're seeing complete trends with in terms of who you are and what you perform? Sort of. I feel like I just look really young, and I'm a shorter dude. And so I'm kind of called in for a lot of like kid roles or teen roles, which is great. And there's a lot of them, but it's like, I'll get feedback sometimes, and it's really just about the fact that I look too young. Okay. You know, it's fine. I would love to stay as young as long as possible. I mean, it feels great otherwise. Well, you can. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it hasn't been so bad. There's still a lot of opportunities for me, and so, can't complain. Okay, good. Yeah. I mean, it can be something that really can weigh on you and feel like it's holding you back in some way, shape, or form. But like, age is an interesting thing where you're like, it is. I know I am getting older and will start to look older. Yeah. So like, if anything, it's just the opportunities being pushed back a couple of years or whatever. But that is, I mean, that's not a bad problem to have. It really isn't. And, and at the same time, it's like so much of casting is like fitting puzzle pieces together. Yeah. So, it doesn't always have to do with you. And that's something to find comfort in. You could have done it like the best job you could, and casting could know that, but they already have an idea, or they have someone for a role that you're paired up with often. It just might not work out for you this time, but another time it totally could. Totally. Amazing. So now that you are here, you're doing the thing, have you kind of like crafted some form of like education routine for yourself, or like do you feel like you've kind of given yourself that kind of theatrical education? Yeah, I think that just in doing it, gotcha. Like I went into it really, really blind, but my education was just being in a professional setting.
Heard.
And you learn a lot more than just like how to sing properly. And how, you know, I got vocal lessons for that, or like how to act and stuff like that. You learn how to present yourself as a person, like your personality inside of a workplace, and like the energy that you're bringing in is so much not more important. Like it's just as important as the craft itself. And learning how to like communicate and like vouch for yourself and your people, it's all like so interesting. And it was interesting seeing that and getting to like learn that on the spot, you know?
Did you have a moment where you were like, okay, I do feel like I am part of the community. Like I do feel like I belong here.
You know, there's a lot of imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I never like feel like that always. There's definitely like moments where I am like, oh yeah, like I'm part of this industry. It's great. And then there's others where I'm like, what am I doing here? Who let me in the building?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's times when I'm like, yeah, this is a community and I'm happy to be a part of it. And I always am happy to be a part of it. But it's a matter of like feeling like I deserve to be a part of it.
Gotcha.
And the reality is, and I can say this and not believe myself, but like if you're trying and you're putting your best foot forward, you are in the community and you belong there because it's something you love and you're putting your best effort into.
Yeah.
It's just about putting the voice out of your head that's like, you do not belong here, you don't deserve this. You know?
What in your brain, in your world, are you convincing yourself is the way that you quote unquote deserve this for yourself? What do you tell yourself that when I do this, this is how I deserve to be here?
I think it's just like how much of myself I give to it.
Okay.
And it's how much of my life I've dedicated to it, not in like a professional way or a work way, but just in the way that I'm so passionate about it, and it's what's fueled me all my life. And you know, you do these things, you go to school, you work on the side, but what you really live for is your passion.
Heard.
You know?
Heard.
So I always just go back to that. And it's something that I love to do, and it's something I've always loved to do, and it's something I will continue loving to do.
Okay.
Whether or not I'm working.
Yeah. Okay. So does the dream still look like Broadway for you, or has it like broadened at all? Like what is?
It's, you know, it's still Broadway.
Yep.
It has broadened though, where it's like Broadway isn't the end all be all. It's not the only thing that's for me.
Yeah.
I think touring made me realize how much I love travel. So I'd love to do another tour.
Heard.
Last year I did a cruise contract and I got to go to Alaska basically for 6 months. It was just like from Seattle to Alaska, Canada for a second, and then back. And it was, I just love seeing places I've never been and getting to like explore and get lost in those places. And, you know, if I was just working on Broadway, I'd be in the city, which is amazing. And I love the city and I love being here. But I feel like I've learned that there's more than that.
Totally. How did cruise life treat you? How did acclimating to that kind of life go?
Oh, you know, there's super, super big ups and then super, super big downs.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm grateful for the employment opportunity. Of course, that goes without saying, but it is quite a bubble and you get trapped in it very quickly because you have like this tiny cabin on this, you know, at the end of the day, it's a small boat. You know, it could be the biggest boat in a fleet, but like it's small. Like that's your world for 6 months. And you're with like a small amount of people. And luckily, I loved the people I worked with and I get along with them so well. But you can get stuck in your own minds. And then like the little problems seem so big because there's, you know, nothing else going on around you. You basically have like limited contact with the outside world because of like the Wi-Fi situation where it's like you can't really be on social media unless you pay. And then you can only like WhatsApp your family and friends. And, you know, I think acclimating to that was, I had like an advantage being on tour because I was like, I know how to be away. Okay. But it was just like the situation of where I was away and how it was on a cruise ship. Yeah. It's a small world.
Heard. Yeah. Totally heard. Do you think you would do it again? The answer can be no.
I know it can. I just, if I have to, I would. Okay. You know, but I'd prefer not to.
Heard. That's totally valid.
You know, like
yeah, no, that's so valid. I mean, it seems like it can be a very isolating thing in that.
Yes, I didn't even use that word, but that's a great word. Yeah, it's a very isolating experience at times. And again, like you can find your community and find your people, but even so, there's a lot that you left behind. Yeah. And it's easier to like see what you left behind when all you're seeing is like this tiny cabin that you're in. You can't even walk, like, you know.
Totally. When did you feel like you started like finding your community within the community? Like, is that something that does feel very present in your everyday life?
I still feel like I'm finding it.
Okay, heard.
There's like in every situation, there's people you get along with, there's people you don't, and not even in like a malicious way. It's just not everybody's your person. And then there are people that you absolutely love. So I think there's a realization that could be your community. You don't have to love everyone in your community. Not everyone in your community has to love you.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you're all doing the same thing. You all have the same goal. And it's just about supporting and uplifting each other.
Yeah.
And I surround myself with people that I feel like do that.
Heard.
And I love to do that for other people. We all want the same thing.
Yeah.
And I love being excited for my friends that are doing the thing. And I love feeling uplifted when I'm doing the thing. And it's,
yeah, for
put yourself
sure.
there.
No, yeah. I mean, also like it is awesome to have the community, but it also, you do need like a break from the theater of it all too.
Oh, yeah,
so like
it's
I've been talking a lot about being a well-rounded human, and having things outside of theater. So like that is also, I feel like, very important. And like sometimes the community can be very smothering in that way, where it's like you're sitting in an audition room and everyone's just talking about the gigs they just did or whatever, and it's just like
the audition room is a scary place. I won't lie.
Yeah. Was that a tough thing to like start to do in the real world?
Yeah, I mean, you're really like preparing to give all of yourself to somebody, and then you're just sitting in a room with other people that are also prepared to give their all to a panel of people.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's a lot of just like stressful, nervous energy, which, that comes with the job.
Of
like
course.
That's going to happen, but doesn't take away from the fact that it is a very intense room to be in. It's just a lot of feelings going on.
Do you feel like you've found your way how to navigate auditions? Do you consider yourself a good auditioner?
Okay. So I've been auditioning a lot this week in particular.
Okay.
And I think that forced me into like finally cracking the code. I try not to work too hard.
Okay.
Like I don't like, I feel like I love to make sure that I'm as prepared as I could be. And not to say that I don't prepare, but I feel like over preparing is definitely a thing.
Totally.
And putting so much time into like crafting a very specific performance could just inhibit you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so like I stopped being scared of like bringing my script into the room or bringing lyrics into the room. It's like, as long as I'm giving a performance, the less stressed I am about it, the better I'm going to perform, because I'm going to be looser.
Yeah.
And so I stopped putting so many expectations on myself.
Yeah.
And then just like, I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to like say what's on my mind. Like if I think of just like a witty joke, like I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna try to like present myself as this, hi, like I'm Tommy, nice to meet you. I'm like, just be you.
Have you felt as though like you've gotten better results in the room from that?
Yes. Okay. 100%. I have better feedback since I've like gotten more into the groove of that way of being.
Yeah.
And I feel better when I leave the rooms, and I feel better before I go in the room. Like I feel so much less stressed. My heart's not racing as fast. Like I used to be a wreck before I went in for an audition.
Yeah.
It was ugly. And I have hyperhidrosis. So it shows.
What
anyway.
Is that?
Oh, okay. It just means I have overactive sweat glands.
Oh.
So imagine that plus being stressed.
Understood.
It's not pretty. So
I'm so sorry.
No, it's it's okay.
Yeah.
I've just been living with it.
Are you doing okay right now?
No, like it's not something I don't think I could defeat, but it's here to stay, and I just have to live with it. Anyway,
I mean, listen, everyone has to face adversity in their life,
and that's my adversity.
You're a trooper, you're a warrior, you're so brave.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And you are living with
I'm living with hyperhidrosis. And I am proud.
Yeah.
I'm not proud. I'm sorry if you have it.
Tommy, be proud.
I know. It's just a lot of
You can't do anything about it. It's natural. It's normal.
I know. Yeah.
But I'll say I have it if it would help you feel better.
Can we hold hands and say, they can't see that we're holding hands, but we are, promise.
Yeah, my hand's kind of clammy right now.
That's okay. Mine is too, because I have hyperhidrosis.
Does that feel like kinship in any way?
It does, honestly. I feel like you're initiated now.
Thank you. Yeah, folks, this is an audio-only podcast. I can't...
But we're holding hands.
Confirming, we are holding hands.
We're holding space, one would say.
In the best way possible. By holding hands. So, we trying to book Broadway out there? Do you have kind of like a plan as to how you want to make that happen? Or is there like a trajectory in your career that you would like to see before that happens?
I have a lot of trust in my team.
Heard.
My agent and my manager are really great and they have a lot of faith in me. But I also feel like as I've gone on in this industry, I've started to find like new dreams where I'm like, Broadway, yes, is definitely one of them, but I'd also love to like originate a role or be part of a new works.
Heard.
Or getting really specific, I'd love to like play a certain type of character and stuff like that. So anything that like feeds my soul and, like I feel passionate about, like I'll chase that, even if it's not Broadway. Like Broadway isn't all there is. And that's what I'm, learning.
And as you said, you're non-union, and have you had any conversations with your team about that? And like, do they have any insight as to like the non-union versus union situation at the moment? Because it is kind of shifted a little bit.
It has, yeah. My manager in particular has recommended it. And so there's like a weird process. I don't really know like how to like say, like articulate it, but there's like an application process to apply where it's like you apply for the application. And so I did that and I have the application and I'm pretty sure the application is just like you signing it and then you making your first payment. So I have it in my mailbox, like it's there.
Okay.
I have just been holding on to that because I'm like, all right, I've gotten this far. If I really, really need it, I will just pull the trigger on it. But it's just at this stage, I've been getting a lot of appointments. And so I don't like necessarily, not right now, am worrying about getting seen.
For sure.
And that's, all the credit to my team. They've been super, super great. So yeah, it's there if I want it.
No, for sure. Yeah. And I mean, right now we're in a world too where like it is getting harder and harder for non-union to be seen at like general calls and stuff. So the fact that you are getting seen as non-union already puts you in a unique pool. So like,
I feel very fortunate about it.
Good.
And it's, you work hard and you put yourself in front of people and my online presence definitely helps. So I'm in a very like specific situation. I know it's like very different for other people.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I feel very lucky.
Totally. Have you felt like the way you've dealt with your online presence has shifted since you started working professionally?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's ever changing, honestly. When I booked the Rent Tour, that was like probably at like the peak of my posting, and I was posting almost every day. My videos were doing super well, but I was like, I'm going to be a good little actor and I'm going to put this way on the back burner and I'm going to focus on my work. And I did that. And, obviously with that, you lose momentum. So it was hard to get back into it once I got off the tour. But, you find your footing again. And I think what used to be me trying to like cater to an audience became me catering to myself.
Gotcha.
And like we were talking about, I do it for me. And I like sharing my singing because it's something I love and I don't ever want it to start feeling too much like work.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's already, I already audition a lot and I've done shows and I do projects here and there and it's, that's work. But I also want it to be play. And I don't ever want to forget that.
For sure.
And so that's kind of what my social media presence has become. It's just me being me in front of a camera. Singing and posting it, even if it's not like what people want, even if it's not my best. It's it's fun.
For sure.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have a brand of any sort? Do you feel like that has come into play?
You know what? It's honestly the fact that people call me Tom, like on the street. If like people run into me and they like happen to know me from TikTok, it's like, are you Tom Kaiser? Because my TikTok handle is Tom Kaiser.
Wild.
And Kaiser is spelled wrong. Because when I made my account, I had no intention of posting. I just wanted to scroll and like I knew my friends were on it. So I was like, I'll just make an account real quick. Typed it in really fast, hit create profile, and I forgot the E in Kaiser.
Oh.
So that's my fault.
Tom.
And I just never changed
Tom
it.
Tom feels weird to me.
No one calls me that. Like, and you could. I'm not bothered by it per se, but no one calls me Tom.
You're not a Tom.
No one in my life calls me Tom.
Not to pigeonhole you, but you're not a Tom.
Not to typecast me, but you're not a Tom.
Yeah, sorry. Woof. Wild.
Sorry.
What a good brand, though.
I know. It's just funny.
Can't spell his own name.
No.
Love it.
No. And I just never changed it because at a certain point I was like, well, that's how people know me now. So I'm unfortunately stuck there.
I mean,
my Instagram's my name spelled correctly, and it's also Tommy.
Okay, well there you go.
So, you know, I was like, do I like make both of them the same? But I'm like, I can't sacrifice Tommy.
Shows versatility.
Yeah, you know what?
The duality of man.
And that's the new thing I'm gonna say.
There you
it's
go.
It's a choice now.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you feel along with like the typecasting of it all, do you feel as though there is something that you do better than anyone else? Like, do you have like your lightning in the bottle that you...
I don't know.
It doesn't have to be like anyone. Like,
no,
you do
no,
better than
yeah.
anyone else. But like, do you have that thing that you know that you exceed very well at?
I feel like I exceed with like a more folky show, a more folky tone to it, and just that's like what I enjoy singing the most.
Mm-hmm.
I could belt. It's like it could happen.
Mm-hmm.
I just enjoy when my voice is like smoother and I'm using my head mix more.
Yeah,
and I just feel more comfortable there. Not even in a way where I feel like I can do it better, but just like comfortable in the way where I'm really just like giving myself away without thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I don't know. That's what feels the most authentic to who I am.
Gotcha.
And I think when I sing that way, I just feel the best, and I'm proudest of those performances.
For sure. Dream roles. Does it go along with that kind of genre?
Kind of. I'd love to play young Noah in The Notebook.
Oh, okay.
That's definitely like a newer dream role of mine after seeing it last year. Oh my God. Just so good. And also John Cardoza is a dear friend, and he is just the most insane talent. Like, he's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
What's another one? On the opposite side, I've always wanted to play JD in Heathers.
Okay.
Which is like definitely not who I am. But hey, we're all actors, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know?
Say it again. Give it to me a little bit more serious.
We're all actors here.
Yeah. Okay.
That one or JD. I want to be JD in Heathers.
Well, it's happening right there. You can go do it.
I could, can't I? I haven't seen Heathers staged before, so I'm very, very excited.
Have I? Yeah, I've seen it. Oh, I've seen like 3 productions of it. I've seen 2 college productions and then like 1 community theater production, but it was like youth theater.
I have not had the pleasure.
You know, it's a time. It's Heathers.
I mean, I've seen the slime tutorial, as you might call it.
But of course.
Is that, or is it like a pro shot? I forget.
No, it's very much
definitely
not.
illegal.
Very
it's
much
fully
not
illegal.
a pro shot.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I don't condone that. But if you record me, please send it.
It's wild because I am like, I know we're supposed to like...
No, I was joking. I super condone it. Like, I really have never cared too much about that.
For sure.
You know, and it's like, for me, we are asked for reels all the time. And how am I supposed to have a performance reel if I can't have my performances on video?
And like
that's always been my thing.
They do the pro shot, but they just never give you the B-roll, but
the B-roll, the B-reel.
They just never send you their B-reels.
I never downloaded that app.
Me neither.
No. Oh, amazing.
And like, there's some people to this day that are like, oh my God, I still use it. And I was like, it never felt like it was that big to me.
None of my friends did it, honestly. There was no honor there.
No.
They were always like, I have to wait until I'm here. And I'm like, then what is the point?
Yeah. They're like,
and that's why I was boycotting
to curate it. I'm like,
I would be probably in bed most of the time, which is another reason I didn't download it.
And like, now that I think about it, I probably would have been a hoot on there. Cause like I would have been very authentic in the moment, you know, but should we download it? Should we do it now?
Oh my goodness. Should we?
Should we bring it back? It could be a good...
It'd be only us on there at this point.
Yeah,
and like maybe a few other people.
Could be a good bit. I don't know.
Could be.
Let's think about it.
Okay.
We're going to table
workshop.
that. Nobody else download it. Nobody else re-download it. Everyone actually go delete it. If you
As a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you saying delete it reminded me. We had to move this podcast over a few days because my phone self-destructed.
Oh my God. What was that?
Oh my God. I was miserable. I tried... So it's so stupid because my friend sent an emoji that I didn't have, right? And I was like, all of a sudden I was like, I need that emoji now. And I was like, I'm going to software update my phone. And I had to do it through my MacBook because I had the storage on my phone for it, but it said I didn't. And so I was like, whatever, I'll do it through my computer. And then it like got to the point where it was like, great, now swipe up and upload will start on your phone, or the upgrade will start on your phone. I did. And then it like reset, and then it showed that screen again. And that was just an endless cycle. And so it wasn't upgrading. And so I looked up on like, what was it? Google something, Reddit, whatever. I was like, what does this mean? And they're like, your phone is broken. Like, you need to factory reset it if you want it back. And I was like, that's really great. But my phone was so broken that I couldn't even factory reset it by myself.
No.
So I had to go to Apple the next day And they were like, yeah, your phone's busted. And also the antenna inside is broken. And so your phone calls will hang up if somebody else calls you while you're in the middle of a phone call. And I was like, that's really cool. I can't afford a new phone. Please just hand it back to me. And now I have a factory reset iPhone 14.
With a broken antenna. I'm so sorry.
With a broken antenna inside.
What does that mean?
I don't know what it means. They said it and I was like, that's fun. That's
Wow.
really fun.
I'm sorry, babe.
That's okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Once again, everyone has to deal with adversity.
Everyone has to deal with adversity. Mine's hyperhidrosis and a broken iPhone 14.
Do you have the update now, though? Do you have your emoji?
I do.
Okay.
I have the emoji, but I have none of my text messages.
No!
Yeah. Luckily, I have my photos because I have Google Photos, and I don't trust iCloud because I've lost all my photos on there before.
Understood.
So 2017 was not a year for me because all of the photos are gone.
I'm so sorry you lost out on the year of 2017.
No, that's okay. And I heard it's a good one, so.
Was it? Was 20... I don't know.
I don't know either.
I guess it was kind of a good year.
It was 2016. The summer of 2016, that was different. That was a great summer.
That was a great summer. That was Pokemon Go summer.
You're right. I was in the middle of the street all the time.
That was like the closest to world peace that I think we
really
will ever
close.
get.
Really, really close.
I
miss that feeling.
Yeah. I mean, we were out until like literally 1 a.m. just in like social play. Like we were in the park till like 1 a.m. and it was so lively. And like, I was like, this is community. Like I'm looking around, there are people from all ages, all walks of life out here just trying to catch Pikachu. And we're helping each other. We're supporting each other.
There's one over here.
We're not gatekeeping anything. No. There, you just see the flood of people running in one direction. Was really fun. Like, oh, wow.
What a time. Bring that back. Maybe that's, instead of Be Real, we bring back Pokemon Go.
And you know what? I still play Pokemon Go.
You still do?
To this day.
Oh my God. I had a little like revival of it like last year.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It fizzled out once again, but I spent like a good month.
And you know what? It is the same, but they add new features. They try and keep it fresh. Yeah. And like they're adding all the new generations. There's a lot to do.
You haven't caught them all.
No,
but you gotta catch them all.
And you gotta. That's what they say.
Yes,
folks, go re-download Pokemon Go. I'm telling you that. And like summer's coming. If there is nothing I love more than a Central Park Pokemon Go walk.
Oh, you know what? I haven't done a Central Park one.
All the time. I really, that's the move. And it's, once again,
that would get me to walk.
What a great way for community.
Yeah.
Now more than ever in this economy, we need that feeling that we had in the summer of 2016.
We do.
We need that sense of unity. Except for the Republicans.
Except for them.
No, I don't want you in my Pokemon Go.
I don't. You're actually not welcome.
I know what team you're on. It's the red team.
I know what you are.
Oh my God. So theater,
So theater.
Ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Have you been keeping up with the Broadway?
The Broadway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of stuff.
Yes. Oh, one of my favorite shows this season is Death Becomes Her.
Oh,
Have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
I'm
like, the clock is ticking.
God. It is so funny.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the funniest shows I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Megan Hilty and Jennifer Samard. It's like the jaw-wagging vibrato is back.
Gotcha.
Like the belting to notes you didn't know existed is so back.
I'm trying to, in the next couple of weeks before the Tonys, I'm trying to see that. I haven't seen Gypsy yet. I feel like
I haven't seen that
either. I need to see Gypsy.
I know.
I might try and rush it tomorrow. Stay tuned. And then Buena Vista Social Club, because
I've heard such incredible things about that.
Exactly.
I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen Operation Mincemeat.
Oh.
And I heard that was...
Tommy.
Oh, you've seen that.
Don't walk, run
to
the theater.
I really need to start rushing or doing lottery.
I did the rush for that. I don't know, I got there like an hour before I was able to get a ticket. One of my favorite shows that I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my gosh.
Genuinely so refreshing. All the things that I love about art and theater and just like comedy all rolled into one thing. And so heartwarming at the same time.
Good.
Like honestly, in my brain and like my art brain, I'm like, that should win Best Musical.
Yeah?
Like that should win Best Musical.
Definitely need to see it then.
I have a feeling maybe Happy Ending will probably.
Have you seen maybe Happy Ending?
Also, Love.
Okay, I really, really love that show. I was going to bring it up because when you said refreshing, I was like, that was a refrering one.
Also that,
just like a great new story.
Totally.
Something you've never seen before.
Yeah.
It was just so, so beautiful.
Yeah. I really...
That's really good season.
100%. Really, really is. And like a lot of toss-ups where I'm like, I genuinely don't know who's going to win. Like
I know. I mean, the best lead actress category is just absolutely insane.
And like I
Never
really
seen anything like
it could
it.
go any which
It
way.
could.
It
And
really-
we haven't even brought up Boop yet. I haven't seen Boop, but the
Oh.
clips I've seen are just mad. And Jasmine is insane.
I hear Jasmine is amazing, and I also just learned that Jasmine Amy Rogers used to go to the same community theater that I did.
Well, isn't that special?
I have one very viral TikTok. It was my day in the sun of a horrendous illegal production I did of a play of Harry Potter, like the movie, number 5 specifically.
Oh my gosh.
It's on TikTok. Anyone can go look it up.
Incredible.
And I learned that small, I'm going to use the word theater in parentheses, was graced by the talent of,
wow.
yeah.
We all
Jasmine.
start somewhere, don't we?
Truly, truly, truly. So I'm trying to, I need to find an in to get her on the pod. I need to get I need to find a mutual
like,
friend.
Hey, we actually have a really upsetting thing in common.
Yes, and I would love to pick your brain about it. I really would. Oh my God. So I do have to see it. I do got to see it, but there's only so much time and there's only so much money. So I'm like, I'm gonna gun for the ones that I feel like are gonna skyrocket in price after the Tonys.
This is true.
Have you seen Sunset?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see Sunset. It was great.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really cool stripped down version.
Yeah.
You know?
I had never seen it before. So
but I was like, wait, there's no set.
Yeah. I was like, I kind of can't imagine this in like a traditional musical theater setting.
I'm like, what would it even look like? And that's like the cool thing.
Yeah.
Is, you know, you look at it, even though it's a revival, if you haven't seen it before, you're like, oh, well, this was so reimagined that I didn't even know it was reimagined.
Exactly.
You know? It's just like a very incredibly put together.
I don't know if I'd want to see it another way.
I don't know. You know, and that's the beauty of it.
Oh,
we all have opinions.
Theater is so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Oh, wow.
So many different ways you can go.
Yeah. Tommy, do you have any other words of wisdom that you feel like you want to share with the world? Do you have any...
I don't know if
anything to say to the young Tommies out there?
Young Tommies. Don't go by Tom on social media unless you want to.
You're not a Tom.
You're not a Tom. I'm sorry. I'm not. I know it. You just got to know it.
Yeah.
You know?
You got to be so real with yourself.
Am I qualified to give a nugget of wisdom?
I mean, you're here, which I hope means you're qualified.
I could give a word of wisdom on how to be here.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about it so much, so I'll just like reiterate, don't lose the joy in something that you are really passionate about and that, you know, a spark lives in you. Don't let it turn too much into work, even if you're trying to make it like your career. Remember what it started as, and that will always bring you back home for sure. And yeah, just don't forget to smile. Do you know that?
No.
Oh, it's Zendaya.
Oh my God.
Zendaya used to do these YouTube videos and she used to end them with, don't forget to smile.
That feels so off-brand for her.
You know what? You didn't know what it was, and so it's not funny anymore.
I'm sorry.
No, okay.
I recognize that it had to be a reference of some sort,
yeah,
and I enjoyed
my brain
it.
is just actually, it's like to a concerning degree packed with media references. My friends like are actually concerned about it. They're like, there's too much going on up there.
You're up to date though, you know?
I'm up to date, but like about what? Nothing really. Really nothing.
Well, that was important back in the day, I'm sure.
I guess. I mean, it's Zendaya.
Yeah.
It's got to be important.
That's so true. That's so true. Everyone, don't forget to smile.
Everyone, don't forget to smile.
Everyone, get out there. Don't forget to smile. Start doing the thing. We are rooting for you.
Wait, I just did this in the microphone. Like, I was like stimming, and I just like made, that's my hands. Just so everybody knows. Just wanted to make that clear.
I can't believe you interrupted the flow of that.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
that was really just on my mind.
I'm gonna have to make sure the smoothing software doesn't edit that out. We'll have to. I might have to put it back in. Stay tuned.
Oh no!
Like I was saying, folks, get out there, start doing the thing. We're rooting for you. We are your biggest supporters, and you can be our biggest supporters by finding us on Patreon. That is patreon.com/BeAtABroadway. Your normal disclaimer: we are not gatekeeping any vital information on there. That is just for fun, silly bonus content, silly stories, audition horror stories, industry stories, shitting your pants on stage stories, all that kind of stuff. So get on over there and check that out. As I've said recently, I've made it cheaper because times are tough. So if it's more affordable now. So get on over there. And as always, you can find us on most social media platforms at BA2Broadway. Tommy, where can folks find you if you want to be found?
Oh, there's two. You can find me at...
Haven't you heard?
I know. I mean, it was the whole topic. On Instagram, I am Tommy Kaiser _. That's Kaiser. And on TikTok, I am Tom Kaiser. That's Kaisr.
Okay.
Just to make it really, really difficult for you guys.
Please, yes, make it abundantly clear.
Yes, and I'm thinking about making another social media account with a completely new name, so stay tuned.
You should. Catch him on Blue Sky.
I'm Blue Sky at Thomas Kaiser.
Thomas.
Kayser.
ThomasTheKaiser.com.
I could do that.
Wait, what is a Kaiser? Is that problematic?
What was it?
What is a Kaiser?
Kaiser, it means king.
Okay, so it's not like a dictator or anything.
I think like maybe sometime. I don't know.
Okay, well, listen, if that's problematic,
can't we all be dictators? I mean, look at this.
If that's problematic, I rescind the joke, and if it's not, I hope it landed.
I'm screaming.
Tommy, thank you so much for being here.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Of course, you are welcome back anytime. And until that next time, folks, bye.
Bye.
From BA to Broadway is created, produced, and edited by Brennan Stefanik, music by Dylan Kaufman, and cover art by Jordan Vongsithi.